What is going on today, guys? AU here, and today I'm bringing you the Gmax Kingler team builder. Now, you might be a little bit confused on why I didn't have a battle video up yesterday. Also, not going to have a battle video up tomorrow, and the reason for that is it's really hard to record battle videos with these teams since you can't actually take them onto the Battle Stadium doubles ladder like we could with the first two teams that I put out. Battle Stadium doubles ladder doesn't allow for the new Gmax mons. So if I were to try to use the Gigantamax Lappers team, I couldn't. If I were to try to use the Gigantamax Kingler team right now, I couldn't. The only way to do it is in the VGC room tournaments, and I haven't been able to catch any of them while I've been able to record at the same time. So I'm probably not going to have a battle video for these two teams, but once they are allowed, I'll probably make up for that by putting battle videos out for those teams. But if you're new here, subscribe, because I'm putting Pokemon videos like this out every single day. So if you're here for VGC 2020 Series 2, Series 3, I've got all kinds of videos on those up on the channel. And I've even got a draft league that goes up on Fridays. So if you're interested in singles a little bit, then I've got that draft league that goes up on Friday. So keep an eye on that. We're doing actually really good in that draft league. But I told you guys on Monday that I was going to start looking at Gigantamax Kingler because I think Gigantamax Kingler is actually really good. If you don't know what its move does, it lowers the opponent's speed by 2 stages, and that's like super good. It's basically paralysis, except they don't have the chance to get paralyzed, and they can switch out and like get rid of the debuffs. But in the long run, making safe switches is going to be kind of hard, and the reason for that is because Kingler is just like insanely strong. Like his attack stat gets up to base attacks that's 130. So I mean that's insanely strong. And I think this team's actually really fun. I've always wanted to use Dracozolt, which you can see is on this team, and Dracovish kind of like outclasses Dracozolt in a way. If you're not going to Dynamax Dracozolt, it has a hard time. But I don't know. I feel like Dracozolt's going to do pretty well on this team. I actually saw a guy using the Gigantamax Kingler team, and he had Dracovish and Dracozolt on it, but I didn't feel like I needed both of them, so I just put Dracozolt on there. And the reason being is because Dracozolt's relatively slow. So if we take a look at Dracozolt, right, he gets up to 139 speed. He's relatively slow, just like Dracovish, but with Kingler lowering the speed of your opponent, then Dracozolt's going to outspeed most things, actually pretty much everything, if they're at -2. That's really big. Also, we've got Grimmsnarl here, and I did have a comment that was asking me to make a Gigantamax Grimmsnarl team. The thing with Grimmsnarl is, it's probably a better Gigantamax in singles. In doubles, it's really just a support Pokemon, but that doesn't mean that you can't Gigantamax it. Like, usually I run Spirit Break on Grimmsnarl, but you need Darkest Lariat for the Gmax move. You can make that switch and still run Screens and Thunderwave, just like I'm doing here, and just have the Gmax potential here, but probably you're not going to click that Gmax button a lot, but still it's better to run Gmax Grimmsnarl than non-Gmax, just in case. I mean, you never know. If you're Gmax and Grimmsnarl, probably something's went pretty wrong, but that's not going to stop anybody from, you know, making an offensive Gmax Grimmsnarl. But for me, this is what I'm running. I just have the Gmax option there just because I don't think I'm ever going to use it. But you never know. So if you have the option to run Gmax Grimmsnarl, you might as well. And if you don't, that's fine. It's personal preference at that point. But on here, we've got our Darkest Lariat, Reflect, Light Screen, and Thunderwave. Reflect and Light Screen to just help with Kingler, with the Togekiss lead. That's all really good. And Thunderwave, like I said, to get Dracozolt to outspeed things, Excadrill to outspeed things, Kingler to outspeed things, right? So a bunch of the heavy hitters on the team, they really benefit from that Thunderwave if Kingler doesn't have those stat drops on the other Pokemon. Now, the thing that makes Kingler really good, in my opinion, is Hypercutter. So in Series 3, Incineroar is going to be really big, and it's really easy for physical attackers to get debuffs, like to get attack debuffs from Intimidate, Max Wormwind, Incineroar Nuggets Parting Shot, this and that, right? Well, Hypercutter prevents other Pokemon from lowering this Pokemon's attack stat. Sheer Force is good if you're not running Gmax Kingler, because Sheer Force doesn't come into effect if you're Gmax, so there's no point in running it on Gmax Kingler, the Pokemon that you're planning to Gmax a lot. So that's why I have Hypercutter. I also have Lumberry because once people see your Hypercutter, they might try to burn you or something. So having the Lumberry there to get rid of that burn is really good. And then on Kingler, we're running Crabhammer. Base 100 move, high crit ratio, just really strong. It gets knockoff, so I actually did put knockoff on here. You could change that to like high horsepower. I don't know if it gets like Iron Head or anything. Yeah, it gets Metal Claw, but I don't think that is very good. So I just went for knockoff, and then it gets superpower for a stab, or not stab, but for a fighting move, and for max knuckle. And then I just put protect on there, and then we're running max speed and max attack, and it also hits 139 speed. So after it gets like a -2 on something, then you're gonna outspeed most things. And then I don't know if we went over Dracozold's moveset, but we're Life Orb Hustle with Bolt Beak, Dragon Claw, high horsepower, and protect, and then just max speed, max attack. On Togekiss, we're running the same scope lens Togekiss that I pretty much always show on all my teams. If Heat Wave, Dazzling Gleam, Air Slash, and Follow Me. We live Durant, max Steel Spike if we're maxed, and we hit a 109 speed tier. We're basically speed creeping other Togekiss or other things that are trying to speed creep base 100s. If you don't know, at 108 speed, if you are at +1, you outspeed base 100s when they're at neutral speed. So we're kind of speed creeping things there. Outside of that, nothing really special about it. And then we have Incineroar, the same Incineroar that I've had. Aqua, Very Intimidate, Fake Out, Snarl, Flare Blitz, and Parting Shot. I think this is really good just to help with the bulk of the team because the Pokemon themselves are actually relatively bulky. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, Kingler's defense is pretty good, but its special defense is kind of bad. And then Dracozolt has pretty good defenses all around. And Excadrill, again, has relatively good defense. It has good HP, but its defense and special defense aren't great. So having this with the screens kind of makes your team really hard to take down and lets your heavy hitters hit up like a lot more attacks. So that's kind of the thought process behind putting Incineroar here on the team. And then we finish up a fantasy core between Excadrill, Togekiss, and Dracozolt or Grimmsnarl with a Focus Sash Excadrill with Mold Breaker. One reason being is because I feel like Rotoms are just going to give this team a hard time. Rotoms really give any team a hard time, but especially this one because they're all electric types. They're going to hit Kingler, they're going to hit Togekiss. Dracozolt's not going to be able to do that much damage to any of them, so Excadrill's kind of here for the Rotom check. We have high horsepower, Iron Head, Rock Slide, and Protect. You can lead a lot of the times. Excadrill and like Incineroar, get a Fake Out off, bulk up Incineroar, get a Parting Shot off, bring in Togekiss or Kingler or whoever, bulk up their defenses a little bit, maybe bring back in Incineroar. So Excadrill just kind of helps for that Intimidate cycle with Incineroar. So that's kind of the reason that I added it to the team. But overall, I think this team it's definitely really fun to play. Like, I've played it in the VGC room tournaments and it's really fun to play. I think it's really good. Now, is it anything meta breaking? No. There's definitely ways to deal with it, and it has its ways to deal with meta teams, but all in all, like, basically the point of this team is to set up the screens, get the debuffs on the other Pokemon, and then sweep with your mid-speed tier Pokemon like Kingler, Dracozolt, and Excadrill. So, nothing really special, but I do think that Gmax Kingler has a lot of potential, especially on a team like this. But with that, that's probably where I'm going to leave you guys. So if you like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.